Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Continuing with Founders Week, quote unquote. This is their Dirty Bastard Scotch Style Ale, 8.5% ABV, and it's 50 IBUs. I'm not usually a fan of Scotch or Scottish beers or wee heavies, but I always love the color. It's like straight up red, mahogany, maroon. It's even redder than an Irish red. It's definitely very hazy though. I don't see any carbonation in here. Not much of a head on there. It's a kind of a yellowish, brownish, kind of soapy, maybe a pinky size. It smells very fruity. I get like apple, and I also get like a sweetness in there, like a caramel or a chocolate. Like apple juice. I don't get any smoke. These beers tend to be like smoky, so we'll see if there's any in the palate. Cheers. Wow. That is a really robust beer. It's like as soon as it hit my tongue, I was getting that caramel that I smell in the nose. It was just like I said, like the candy apple. So it was like that fruit, like a red apple covered in caramel. And it had almost kind of like a juicy kind of taste to it. And then it finished, and I got like this this like kick of like some kind of a smokiness. Yeah, it's like thick. It's thick in the mouth. Definitely a full-bodied beer. Like it feels thick, but it's, it doesn't feel carbonated. It's not fizzy. There's no crisp to the palate. So it's like almost kind of like a syrupy kind of thing, like a slightly sticky body. Like I said, it kind of tastes like caramel. Kind of has like that caramel syrup kind of consistency to it. Getting like a bitter dark chocolate on the aftertaste. It's short, but it's there. It's definitely noticeable. The smokiness I noticed in the first few swigs seems to have dissipated. Now it's just more of like it's just like kind of candy apple from start to finish. It's like almost like that kind of British style red apple kind of fruit you tend to get. It's not very bitter though. 50 IBUs, I mean, depending on the style, it's fairly high, but not a particularly bitter beer. It's much more sweet than it is bitter. Yeah, wow, really tasty. It's really, really smooth too. I do get a little bit of the alcohol in there. Like it's just kind of like that kind of generic kind of rubbing alcohol dryness. But it's very, very subtle. I think like a less experienced drinker would probably pick up on it more than I would. So it is creating for like a slight kind of dryness across the middle. Yeah, any smokiness that was in the palate at the beginning has kind of faded away by now. Yeah, so far this is really good, and I'm genuinely surprised because I don't usually tend to like beers of this style, but it's Founders. I guess they can do anything good. So we're gonna sip on this and come back with the final thoughts. Cheers. Okay, final grade for the Founders Dirty Bastard. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I was almost going to go 9 there, but it didn't finish as strong as it started. I'm noticing now that I'm getting towards the bottom, the palate is getting it's getting way more mild. The mouthfeel is turning from like thick and sticky to almost kind of watery. That being said, I mean, it's still a really good beer. I'm still getting the fruit, I'm still getting the caramel, a little bit of chocolate. A slight bit of bitterness in there to let you know it's a beer, but, it's a nice kind of rich sweetness. The alcohol's starting to come out now, so it's kind of imparting that kind of dry rubbing alcohol kind of taste. I definitely feel it too, it's only been, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so, and I can definitely feel it. It's almost kind of in the range of a barley wine, but just not as intense overall. But, you know, drinkability on it is nice. I mean, it just goes down so smooth. I wouldn't call it a refreshing beer, but it is quite easy to drink considering how strong of a beer it is. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for Founder's Dirty Bastard. That does it for this episode, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.